Okay.
Okay.
The podcast.
The podcast. What are you calling it?
I don't. Okay. That's a hard one because when I looked at podcast names, I looked up after the session, and there's like 5 podcasts named after the session.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, dang, that's a good one. And then I thought of another name that was like, this has to be the one. It feels so good. And there was about 5 podcasts with that name. So I think that when I launch the videos like on social media, I can still call it After the Session with Beauty Marks or After the Session with Tanya.
Okay.
But if I'm going to go all out, launch a podcast, which I feel like that's what we're doing here.
Yeah. It's
I
a wrap.
have to.
Is there a lot of them like that too?
Yeah. But there was one. There's one. And it's called Take Up Some Damn Space that I thought of.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Take up some damn space. Do the session. Love yourself. Take up the space in this world. You deserve it. So I looked that one up.
I love that.
And nobody has it.
Yes.
So I'm like, do I steal that name? Go buy it right now. Like, go put it on there. Yeah, all the things. So I think Take Up Some Damn Space is going to be, where are we going with it?
That's so you.
Yes, it feels so good. So that's it. Take up some damn space. That's what we're doing here. Taking up some space.
Take up some damn space.
Yes. With the guest, Indira.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here.
Yes. Love your local. We just had an amazing event, by the way.
We did.
How many people?
Over 300 people showed up.
Yes.
60 vendors, and we raised over $500 for a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. It was a very intentional event. I think. And I think that's how I'm going to market it going forward.
Yeah.
The spring one is very intentional with business owners showing up and networking.
Yes.
Whereas the holiday one is more of a, let's shop, let's mingle, let's, Christmas cheer,
I think definitely the holidays are always going to have that shopping spirit. People are always looking for one place to go to buy a bunch of things. So naturally the numbers are going to be higher. Mm-hmm. I had a booth also at the event. And I had made such genuine connections. Like the way people were not pushing through, there wasn't so many people for me that I could only talk to one. Because if I'm in a conversation with one person, I'll say, I'll be right with you, or let me know if you have any questions, but I'm still in this conversation. People are going to walk away, And I didn't have that experience, thankfully. I got to make genuine connections with every single person that I talked to there.
That is literally the slogan of Love Your Local. We are just out here to build genuine connections between the consumer and the community.
Yes.
And the business owner.
I love it. It was so much fun. And I got to photograph. So at my booth, I did complimentary. I didn't call them headshots. I called them personality shots. So anybody who's willing.
And boy, did my personality come out.
And Mo. Oh my gosh.
Mo's just the party.
So cute. But it was so much fun. I got to meet so many new people. Those who were willing to sit down in the chair, because there's a lot of people who just haven't been photographed since their wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Since like their last family photo 10 years ago. So to sit in front of everybody at the event and just get a picture alone is kind of scary, let alone now the word boudoir is hanging above your head and it's got like some feeling to it,
And people have like insecurities. That and they're like, shoot, I didn't get time to like cover that. Right. And they just sat down. But seeing people sit down, that was amazing.
Yes, and they're fun. And I mean, like, it was really, really fun to see people just be, even if they were being bashful, I loved those pictures so much. And maybe
their goofiness came out a little bit, right?
It's goofy, or there's a lot of emotion in the image, and they may look at it and be like, oh, I was so nervous. But I look at it and I'm like, look at that genuine feeling.
One of my favorites is to the lady who owns Curry Rock Winery.
Yes.
Gosh.
With the dark hair?
Yes. I don't think she's taken photos for a while, and just seeing that genuine smile come out of her, that was amazing.
They both wanted to.
Yeah.
And I know the one was a little bit more shy. The one with the lighter colored hair, she was a little bit more shy. So they only wanted to do it together, and then I got them to do it separate. I was like, please, just let me do it.
Of course you did.
Please. I mean, I was like, you can say no, but you deserve to have this picture too,
Yeah.
And they were so much fun.
You did a great job there. It was such a joy to have you.
But let's talk about why you're here.
I don't know. I heard there was free wine.
You brought the wine. She brought this. We would refill, but There isn't anymore. Shout out to Kelsey Roscoe.
Oh gosh, aren't her glasses?
These are
adorable?
hers.
Yes, I do miss her store. But.
So reach out to her. She will, if you want some beautiful.
Yes, she has a lot, I think.
Stemware. Kelsey has an amazing set of it. So
I have the stemless ones too.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Oh, these are the white wine, and then the red wine are a little bit bigger, and they're fantastic.
They're just so elegant. I love them.
But you're here because you did a session.
I did, and I'm so excited.
How did you feel?
Oh, I kind of feel the same as sitting here now because just so comfortable. And I was nervous at first because, of course, at first we started as a collaboration, right?
Right.
But then being here just kind of gave me that, I go back to that word genuine. I was able to really showcase my genuine self, I think.
Yeah?
Just really bring out who I am as a person.
Yes.
Even a little mysterious, but we also got that quirky side
yes.
out, and it was really fun.
Yes. Yeah, and we did. We started off, she was like, I want to collaborate. I got some ideas. I want to get a little bit of this, but a little bit of that. Oh, I spit. But, and then it just blossomed, and we were able to work in a little bit of spice and a really beautiful, genuine connection. And I really love that we captured a little bit of everything, like her tongue sticking out in some images, or like there's one that's some of the
monster.
Yeah, if you've ever had a photo shoot with me, or if you haven't, when I'm taking photographs, of course we have this idea of what we're going to shoot that day. So it may be we're going for this vibe, or we're going for this vibe, and I kind of we make a shoot list, whether we do it together or individually, both of us, like make a shoot, a mood board, so to speak. But it's all the in-between moments that I capture that are like the shots, the times where we're like pose, but then you let go and boom, that's the one I want to capture, And then every now and again, we'll just be being super dorky, or something will happen, or I'll accidentally take a shot and we'll get some like T-Rex looking like, and I can't delete it because I have to show that in the reveal.
And going through the reveal, and it never fails. It was always that one that popped up, and it was like, keep her. I mean, he just wants to be kept.
So they're always fun. When you do a session, you'll see that it's all the fun images, and like then there's just the fun that we had when you're reviewing your images. You get to relive it through every different type of like laugh and giggle.
Going back to your photos from the expo,
Yes.
Going through all of them, I felt like I was just reliving everybody's laughter. I could just hear their laughter.
Yes.
I could hear their goofiness, and it really brought tears to my eyes going through them. I even get goosebumps just talking about it. It's amazing what photos can do.
Right.
Like how much emotion they can just show.
Yeah. I know you're like open mouth giggle laugh with you and Mo, and then Wendy's had such a big laugh. Like you can, if you know people, you can hear their laughter in their photos.
I'm literally, I have goosebumps just talking about it because just watching it just makes me relive it.
It's such a good time.
Even though we did our photo shoot for a while back.
Yeah, on the 5th.
Yeah, and we just finalized all the images. Even looking back, we still giggled, and we still were like, wow, that was a really good one. So,
yes. Yeah. And it gets hard to narrow down to like that number of like, this is the collection I choose.
Yes.
Help me get there.
Which one do you like?
Help me pick because I can't.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you feel like? Okay, so you want to talk about some of the outfits that you brought, or what was your inspirations for the photo shoot, or what was your big vision for your photo shoot?
My big vision at first was, of course, showing some of the brand with Love Your Local, and, which was interesting because that first photo we took on the desk.
Yes.
Not spicy.
Not spicy.
I know desk sounds spicy, but it really correlates now to what I'm kind of branching off into with the events portion of my business, and it just kind of brought it together, and that wasn't really the plan.
It wasn't even on our mind.
It wasn't even on our mind, but it just kind of, now I look at that photo, I'm like, wow, that would be a really good branding shot for...
Because you're growing, you're taking, and you're branching into a new business, and we did not have that in our vision, but somehow this picture ended up being so perfect for that.
It did. It just ended up being really perfect, and then I didn't really know that we were gonna do any boudoir type ones, but then you just made me feel so comfortable. I'm like, who needs pants anyway?
Yeah. Can we just do one white shirt?
Can we just
We did have a cute T-shirt and long stocking idea, and then that was the one we forgot to do.
That was the one we forgot to do.
But
and that's okay.
It's not off the books yet. It's not out of it's just out of right now because we've been
like
busy.
We're never going to work together again.
Yeah, right. We've been busy for how many weeks now? Nonstop.
I need to know my limits, and next year I'll do better.
Well, I don't even know if it's just do better. It's just like, I did this once too, where I had such big events and powerful things back to back to back to back, and I was just dead exhausted. Mm-hmm. So maybe next year you're just gonna have to pull one thing out of the middle and give yourself this like 2 days to die in the middle.
Yeah, and it's crazy standing in an expo from 6 a.m. to like 4 p.m. or 5 almost, like, until everybody leaves.
Yeah.
It does a lot.
Yeah, and you're racing, you're thinking constantly. It's not even the physical stuff as much as like, is so-and-so here? Who's left on the list? Your brain is going so fast. Like, and I only know that because even during my photo shoots here, it is not hard work.
No.
I mean, sometimes I'm on the floor and
Tedious.
sometimes I'm up here, but what I'm thinking of is, what's her leg doing? What's her hair doing? Did I get that out of her face? Like, and it's not about perfection, but I'm not going to edit this hair off your eye. So what am I always doing is making sure the hairs are out of the face, making sure like, I don't have like, toes. One thing that we always do when we're sitting here is people separate their toes or push their feet down. So I'm like hair, toes, fingers, or when we're stiff, we do this with our hands, and then I'm like, soft hands.
Boy is taking photos.
I'm going from the top to the bottom, to the top to the bottom on every shot that I'm taking.
It is a workout.
It's a good time, though. It's a good time.
If you do not use those muscles, man, you really find out fast how many muscles you have in a leg.
Yes. You're like, yoga. I did yoga.
10 years ago.
Wrong. It's like doing yoga wrong the whole entire time.
Right?
Yes.
No, I really, really enjoyed it, and I hope you give yourself a lot of credit for how you make people feel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you melt my heart. You melt my heart.
Cry for a second. She'll be right back.
We're gonna go cut to a commercial break from our sponsors. Kelsey with these glasses.
Stella Rosa.
Is that what it was? Yum. Okay. So I don't know what I have wrote down questions because I don't have them memorized yet, and I think that I'm going to use some different ones every single time.
That's okay.
But what's your next idea? If you think of another photo shot, okay, would you do it again?
Of course, in a heartbeat. I have mentioned it to so many friends,
yes.
And they're like, "Can I see yours?" I'm like, "Well, not yet."
Not yet.
Not yet.
And
they
maybe
want to see, and they're so excited because they ask me, how did I feel? Or, was I comfortable?
Yeah.
Like, was it weird getting, like, into
a little undress or, yeah.
And, and I was like, I think if it was with somebody else, I think it would be a little awkward at first. But I don't know. Just with you, I was just so comfortable. And then I was like, pants who? Who needs pants anymore?
What's a booty?
What?
Here it is.
It's all here. No, you really have a way of making people feel comfortable. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really, I cannot picture me doing anything else. Unless this turns into something, like speaking, or like I just spoke at an event, and that felt so beautiful. So, if this blossoms into more, of course I can see that. But I really love what I do, and I cannot wait to just see who I meet this year and what, who else I get to celebrate. I cannot wait.
And that shows through your work.
Thank you.
Even, just simple things like, having somebody sit in your chair to, doing full galleries of Boudoir. I mean, even if they just go to your website, they'll see that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have any ideas next? When you left your session that day, were you like, next time I want to try this one thing? Did you have any of those?
I keep eyeing your bed over here. You have a bed
the gold bed?
The gold bed. And I was like, it would have been fun to have some with
the bed
laying down.
Okay.
I look at your galleries and I was like, at first when you look at them, you're like, oh, that's a little too much for me.
Right.
I don't think I could do that right now. But I think once you get your feet wet a little bit, you get more ideas. And
I'm glad you said that though. Yeah, and that happens a lot. I wouldn't say a lot, but every now and again. somebody will say, I'm not comfortable with this. And I say, okay, great. Here's what we're going to do. And that's what we did for yours. Like, this is what I'm going to do. And then a little bit blossomed during the session. And now you're like, hey, actually, I want to do that thing now.
And I've seen that through your galleries too,
Yes.
If you go through some of your not so like revealing ones, you'll see the same person in another gallery, right? Because they probably kind of...
If you scroll down far enough, you'll see a lot of my return guests and a little bit of a story as it unfolds into what they want to do, what they're willing to do, how empowered they are, what they're willing to share. So everything that is shared on my website, my social media, my Facebook is all done with, of course, the permission of my guests. And if my guest says, I don't know, or I'll say, hey, you take that time to think about it. If there's any question about if they want to, I run through and I say, well, this is social media. And, like once it's on the internet, like I try to just be as blunt and clear as possible. Like if you think that it's going to affect your job, which it stinks, but there's still jobs out there that it can affect, don't do it. I want that for you. I want that empowerment for you. I want that feeling for you, but it's not worth, like, don't do it for me also. Do it for you. Like, I love to share, and I love to share because I love to celebrate my guests. But, like, if you saw your face or your booty or anything on the internet like this, would you feel empowered? And if your answer right away isn't hell yeah, then don't do it.
Yep.
Because if it goes up for 30 seconds, somebody could save it.
Yeah.
So just know that, like, I know that I have a great crowd, but the internet's full of internet people,
It's wild.
But thankfully, I feel like I haven't had, I think I've only had 1 to 2 that I can think of negative comments, like really mean negative comments on my things in the 7 years that I've had my page.
That's amazing.
I am skating by without a ginormous amount of hate on the work. But I also...
It's because you attract the right people.
That's what I love about it. Like, Instagram's a little different, but nobody comments. You just... it's the DMs that are a little crazy over on Instagram, but...
They're like a little hidden.
Can I pay you to you photograph my feet? You do know that all of the feet in these images are different people's feet, and none of them are mine. You know that, right?
I would have so many different types of feet.
Yes. Like, what kind of feet do you want? I'll just go grab some, zoom in on a picture, screenshot it, and send it out. No, it's wild out there. But yeah.
Instagram's a new monster.
I would say, how did you hear about B&B? But we got to know each other through...
Oh, wow. It's been a while.
No, it wasn't through Tea Time. It was all the way back
when I had Primrose Boutique.
Yes, you
donated some swag bag items to me for an event I was doing.
So it had to be just through some sort of... What page then would it have been?
Lady Boss.
Oh, yeah, so it had to have been the Lady Boss group.
I must have just put out a little blurb of like, hey, I'm looking for swag bag items, and I think you reached out.
So that had to have been 5 or 6 years ago?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm coming up on my 7-year B&B anniversary.
I think it's been 6 at least.
Yeah, it's probably right there at the beginning, that first year, that first full year. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I know, it's been a while.
I love that.
I should go on a trip now.
Where do you want to go?
Anywhere tropical.
Colorado. I'm about to say Colorado and you're like tropical.
Well, I mean, we could do yours first and then we'll do mine.
Okay. Deal. I haven't even gone anywhere tropical in my life. Does Florida count?
Well, kind of, yeah.
Okay, I have gone to Florida.
I mean, it's the ocean.
I need a redo, though.
Yes.
I need a redo of my Florida trip.
Are you going to take your camera equipment with you?
I should. Beach shots?
Yes.
Is it legal? Some places you have to have like a permit just to photograph.
What?
We'll see. We'll find out.
That's okay.
When the police come. It was just a titty.
Something is happening.
I didn't know. You can play the I didn't know. I'm not from here.
I'm from North Dakota.
There was no signs.
Every time I tell somebody I'm from North Dakota when I go on vacation, they're like, what? Where is that?
It's not one state. The 50 states, one of those.
You know about this one? Or people live there?
Okay. What surprised you the most?
What surprised me the most about our photo shoot?
Yes, about our photo shoot. What surprised you? Or about you, about the photo shoot? Like maybe it was something about yourself that surprised you, something about how you felt, anything. What surprised you the most?
I would say just how easy it was to transition themes.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're preparing for a photo shoot, you're like, well, it's probably going to take a long time for me to switch from like boudoir to like business or like.
Yeah.
So just the ease of it.
Yeah.
Like 1 minute we're over here doing one thing, the next minute I'm laying on a chair with just a shirt on, you know? Like,
yeah.
And just the ease of the transition, I think that surprised me a lot. And it's a good surprise.
It's funny to think about, too, because you're like, oh, no, I'm business. And then, boom.
I know. And it's
and now
crazy
it's party.
how your mind can just flip that switch. And so some of my business ones might look a little...
We didn't fully transition.
Once I got the transition part down...
It's like forgetting and wearing your business shoes with your dress or something. There was a few pieces that transitioned differently.
But I had a whole different picture in my mind of that I would have to like really work on it.
Yeah.
But it was just so easy. It was really cool.
And the time goes so fast.
So fast.
We did so much, but it goes fast, and we're like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
I mean, we did more time, but then, like, when it was all done, it was like, holy crap, how late is it already?
Well, like, I gotta run.
Leaving now.
Daughter, school.
I have that.
Forgot about those.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So my last one is, what advice would you have for somebody who hadn't done it before, who had reservations, because you hadn't done it before, and you were nervous, and you didn't quite want to go too far into boudoir at first. You just really wanted to kind of have a little bit more business with maybe a little edge. Mm-hmm. And so what would you say to somebody who is thinking about it, who kind of felt the way you were feeling?
I'm going to rip Nike off right now, and I'm just going to be like, just do it. Nike, I'm sorry, but if you wanted to pay me for a sponsorship, I'll do it. But yeah, just do it. I don't even know why I was thinking about it so much. I mean, I didn't even go full boudoir. Very full
mild.
Booty.
But and everybody's version is that way, you know.
Everybody's version is different in how they feel sexy and how they feel empowered
or exposed, and what's too much, and maybe and I don't want to put any words into it, but maybe it's like sometimes for some people it's how people talk about it. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, that is for that type of person, or that's naughty, or that's bad, and there's this taboo to it that even though you love what I did and you like root for everybody, it's still kind of in your mind a little bit. Maybe that's part of it. And then once you did it, you're like, it's nothing like that, you know? Or it could be cultural differences. Mm-hmm. It could be a little bit of that, or not everybody. Even if you're rooting for everybody and you're like, yeah, do the shoot, do that. Mm-hmm. Not everybody is really comfortable exposed like that, you know?
And the nice thing is you don't have to be, right? Yes. Like, I'm sure they'll see once I share mine that you don't have to be. Mm-hmm. Like, you can go into it with, you know, if you're a business owner with like a branding type of style, you can go into it with just, you know, a shoot of yourself, you know, just in comfy clothes, and it can transition into a little bit more if you're comfortable. But I think if you have been thinking about it, I think you should just do it and just see where it goes. Because you are so easy with, like I said, transitioning from just that simple to, just transitioning from that simple to a little bit more if you want to.
Right. And I'm going to piggyback on that a little bit. So we photograph for about an hour and a half every session. So, and when I do my sessions, I like to serve the whole guest if possible. So some people want to do boudoir like the whole time, and some people want to do a little bit of glam. I remember I had a guest who I think I've had a couple guests now, coming out of a relationship. They're single now. They had this dress that they bought that they wanted to wear, but they never had a reason to wear it. They never wore it with their partner for whatever reason it was, you know, whether it be negativity or they weren't allowed to buy the dress. So when they got single, they bought the dress, but they didn't have a purpose for it. It was just the celebration of like self dress. Yep. So we spent the first few minutes photographing the dress, feeling beautiful. and then a little bit of boudoir in the middle, and then, like you said, something cozy. Like, it can be just a sweater and long stockings with a little bit of leg showing. It can be a long button down white shirt where nothing's showing but your leg when you put your leg up, and a little bit of shoulder when we pull it off the shoulder, or a little V of the chest there. And you get to design the session that is within your comfort zone. And just because somebody else went all out nude doesn't mean that you're any less sexy or any less gorgeous or any less risque than they are.
And boudoir can mean so many things.
It is exactly what you want it to be.
Naked.
I think it's personalized to you.
Yeah.
Personally, that's what I think. Like, what does it mean to you? What does sexy mean to you? Because you gotta love the images. So what's gonna make you feel on top of the world is not gonna be the same thing as the next person. And I love, personally, one of the favorite shoots, one of the things that I brought to my photo shoot was a really ripped up tank top. And some like cheeky undies, because just that side boob look and that big open side, and like that made me feel like really sexy. Other people are going to look at that ripped up t-shirt and be like, it's gross. It's a gross ripped up t-shirt. You know what I mean?
Not to me.
And they wouldn't feel sexy in there.
Yeah.
So I think it's very, very personalized and very individual, and that's the part I love the most. I mean, I've had people come in with a one-piece zip-up PJs and with a little bit of lingerie underneath, and hats and cowgirl boots and like all the fun. And I love creating.
And the great part is you do give those choices. Like, you are like, well, do you want to try this?
Yes.
That's what I like about you. You're not like, hey, we're gonna do this. Like, you're like, hey, do you want to try this? Or
yes.
Try this. So yeah, that really brings out people's personality, and I think you're really good at scoping that out. So
I love that. Well, thank you for trusting me to be your photographer, for letting me be a part of your first experience, but also some branding images for your upcoming journeys and the Love Your Local and all the things that you're doing next.
Thank you. I can imagine doing it with anybody else.
Yeah. Oh, I love you. I love you.